Hi, everyone. A local fire marshal claims he was told to back off an investigation into a series of deadly fires.
He is speaking exclusively tonight to News Channel 5 Investigates. Investigative reporter Ben Hall found this raises questions about a very high-profile case.
5 people died in a series of fires at the Haganese plant in Gallatin. Now the fire marshal claims the city shut down his initial investigation.
The first thing the doctors told us, walking in the door,
It's a lethal combination.
was he was burned 95% of his body,
Particles of iron dust and an ignition source.
and we don't think he's gonna make it.
It's what killed Christina Sherburn's husband.
There's nothing you can say to that.
42-year-old Wiley Sherburne and 32-year-old Wayne Corley both died in a fire at the Haganese plant in January 2011.
This is steel that's burning. This is not dust that you dust up off your house.
Stan Gwaltney has been Gallatin's fire marshal for decades. He responded to the plant after that first explosion and was shocked by what he learned.
I just couldn't believe that the place hadn't been inspected in 10 years.
Gallatin's fire department had no records of inspections at the plant for years. Gwaltney found piles of dangerous iron dust all over the facility.
Why hadn't they been inspected in a long time?
I don't know. I never got to do my investigation.
Gwaltney claims the city shut down his investigation into that first fire and the plant's unusual lack of inspections.
They're trying to just shut me up.
He claims after that first fire, city officials told him not to bother Haganese, which is a major employer in Gallatin.
They provide a service to the community, jobs, taxes.
Within 4 months, there were 2 more explosions at Haganese, killing 3 more employees.
Could those 2 explosions have been prevented?
I don't know because I want us to come and investigate them.
The Chemical Safety Board is really the one who came in and oversaw the full investigation of Haganese.
Gallatin's mayor, Joanne Graves, said her fire marshal is just plain wrong.
Did anyone in the city tell him to back off after that first fire?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Was there any sort of conversation along the lines of, Haganese is a major employer, leave them alone?
No, we would not say that.
Days after the first Haganese fire, the city sent Gwaltney this letter, reminding him of his job duties. Graves said the city had reprimanded Gwaltney in the past for overstepping his authority.
Stan frequently gets things confused.
So why do you have him as an employee?
He answers to the fire chief.
He was clearly concerned about the lack of inspections.
I think we're all concerned about the inspections and the documentation of inspections.
In a letter to the Federal Chemical Safety Board, Mayor Graves wrote that Gallatin's fire department would fix that problem and inspect every industrial plant at least once a year, and the city would keep records. So we checked Gallatin's records. We found handwritten partial inspections of Haganese, but no full inspections last year. The city was not sure whether other plants had even been visited because records were so unorganized.
Did you find inspections in a box in a closet?
The previous fire inspector is no longer there, and as I said, there was some lax record keeping. So we're not doing it that way anymore.
Records were so lax, the city asked the Haganese plant to provide proof of fire inspections at its facility.
Does it concern you that Gallatin didn't have it? You had to go to Haganese to find it.
Yes, I am concerned, Ben. Yes, I am. I wouldn't have called somebody to come in and do a review of one of my departments if I weren't concerned.
Graves now wants an outside auditor to review all fire inspection records.
This just happened to be an unfortunate thing.
Stan Gwaltney is still Gallatin's fire marshal and questions whether the city has learned from what happened.
And there's nothing else I can explain it.
Either way, the pain from those fires will always linger.
You just go day to day.
Haganese recently expanded its operations in Gallatin. Some of the victims' families have received settlements and declined to speak with us.
Isn't it unusual for a city to get its inspection records from the company it's inspecting?
Absolutely. Hagenese provided proof of at least one partial inspection last year that the city could not find. Gallatin inspected other plants after our questions.
Thanks, Ben. Well, the Chemical Safety Board wants to see Gallatin's fire inspection records because of our questions. The CSB has used the Hagenese fires as proof that new national standards are needed.